Hey, it's Philip here, and in my digital spark today, I wanted to give you a great tip that you can use with ChatGPT or any of the LLMs that will really improve your output. Even if you've gone through the proper framework, you've given kind of full persona, and even followed the score framework that I have created that you can find on my website, philiptwyford.com. This, I think, is going to up your prompting game. So let's jump over to ChatGPT and I'll show you exactly what this tip is. Okay, so I'm over here in ChatGPT. I use the Pro plan, so I have projects. So I set up projects for various different tasks. And definitely, if you're using ChatGPT, I would definitely suggest to you that you're creating projects because it allows you to house all of your chats within that specific project and allow, obviously, for ChatGPT to pull on various interactions and memories within that project. But I have a project here called Valhalla Awakens. This is essentially my project where I create all of my TikTok AI Viking generated content for my AI TikTok channel called at Valhalla Awakens 3. So if you're into Vikings and a combination with motivational quotes, etc., all generated by AI, definitely check it out on TikTok. But essentially, what I want to show you here is this tip that I wanted to share with you, which is about getting, in this case, ChatGPT to critique its own outputs. Because I want to show you exactly the power of, by doing and requesting, say, ChatGPT in this case, to do that, how you actually elevate the further outputs that you get. Now, obviously, I've trained ChatGPT within this project to act like a Viking sage, if you want, or a Viking mage, if you want to call it. So I obviously trigger its persona by going brother. So I use brother. And here I've basically given it the kind of full title, acting as a TikTok Viking content creator. I also wanted to kind of show that kind of chain of thought prompt method by outlining how it creates a concept around a particular quote. So in this particular case, it was waiting for motivation as a trap, discipline moves first. So it comes back obviously with its approach checklist, how it actually is going to bring this to life in an image. And then it lists out for me three kind of concepts. So the concept, why it works, and its opinion. Now, here is where I think you start to see the value of this. So I went back, okay, brother, instead of me just kind of, great, I love number 3, let's go with that. I've asked it, can you critically critique each of the above concepts and see how you can improve them? And this is where it gets really interesting, because then obviously it talks to me like a Viking. I know you might think it's a bit weird. I think it's quite quirky. It gets me into the framework when I'm creating design and stuff for the TikTok channel. But here it comes, good, sharpening the blade before we're swinging it. Let's break each concept apart. And this is where you see the benefit of this. So it starts to go through its own concept. So the dawn ritual, it goes through what are the strengths, but then it starts to actually list out, okay, here are some of the weaknesses that I see in this particular concept. Here's my improvements, and then an overall verdict. And it goes through that same scenario for each of those concepts. It outlines what it sees as the strengths, but also some of the weaknesses that maybe was not initially thought of, either by the AI or by myself. And it then suggests improvements, etc. And then it gives me a breakdown of an overall analysis as to what it kind of feels is the best, the route to go, where the strongest potential image might be from a concept direction point. And then I basically will come back with my answer, and then it forges. So I think what I wanted to show you here is that even if you follow a very strict prompting framework, such as SCORE, or any of the ones where you're giving it the persona and the goal, and you're giving it all of the knowledge-based information to train itself, by actually asking it to critique its answers, it will actually find weaknesses in its answers and look to improve. And you could do this a couple of times. You could get it to now critique that new concept and drill down until you get it right to the point where this is exactly hitting the nail on the head. So I hope you found that useful. I think definitely by adding this kind of critique element into your prompting kind of framework and prompting techniques, you will invariably get way, way better answers from your LLMs, ChatGPT, Google Gemini, etc. So I hope you found this useful. So I hope you found today's Digital Spark useful. I think by adding in that kind of critiquing element when you get outputs from ChatGPT, Gemini, etc., I think you'll find it's actually going to further elevate not only your prompt engineering kind of technique, but especially the outputs that you get. If you want to see all of my other Digital Sparks, they're all up there on my website, philiptwyford.com. And until next time, take care.